Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about self-care for writers. But before we get started, make sure to click that like button down below. And if you end up liking this video, you can also click the subscribe button as well to see more of my content. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about taking care of yourself. Being selfish, but being selfish in a way that you need to keep functioning, not in like being mean to other people, just taking care of yourself. When it comes to self-care, here are a couple things you could do to take care of your physical health. Now, I know sometimes it can be very easy to forget about your physical health when you're writing. It's really important to have something, even if it's something small, that is going to help you keep up with your physical health. If you're like me and you have a really hard time working in physical health, think of something maybe that you can do that takes 5 minutes, whether that's a stretch routine that you have memorized, or whether it's these 5-minute yoga videos. Like, I like to do these yoga with Adriene videos. I haven't been really good about it lately because I'm sick, but I'm getting better about keeping to it because it's so short. So it's like almost more inconvenient to not do it. But if you're having like a really bad depression day, sometimes it might be hard to do even those 5 minutes. So think of something small you can do, something that you could do most days. Every day probably isn't always going to be realistic, especially if you're dealing with mental health stuff. But think of something that you could do most days, even if it's something really small that's like 2 minutes for your physical health. Another thing you could do is find something that helps you really tap into that creativity side. Like for me, sometimes it's as simple as walking, and that's like my physical activity. So it doesn't have to be anything strenuous. It could just be walking, going for a walk, getting some fresh air, but just find something that works for you physical activity wise. As far as taking care of your physical self, honestly, if you have depression and you have days where you can't even take a shower, like do whatever you can that's going to make you feel even 10%, 5% better. For me, sometimes all I can manage is washing my face. If that's all you can do that day, that's okay. You're that much better off than you were before. So do that small thing that you can. Next thing I want to talk about is self-care for your mental health. For me, that's building things into my deadlines. Building in the possibility, the very real possibility, that I might have mental health stuff going on during my deadlines, especially when I get towards the end. And I need to build in a cushion so that I have the space to deal with that without having the deadline looming over my head and realizing I don't have enough time to deal with this mental thing. Because that's never a good position to put yourself in. Another thing you could do for your mental health is try to find a support system, whether that's online or in person, of people you can talk to when you're dealing with this. If you're like me and you live in the United States, unfortunately sometimes professional help isn't available to you or it's far too expensive. Try to find some kind of support system. If you don't have a support system, I will gladly be your support system. I am not able to support myself, but I will still support you. Another thing you could do is, as far as your mental health goes, is writing things down. I know for me, writing started as kind of a way to deal with all the stuff that was going on in my brain. So sometimes I just go back to that when I'm having a lot of mental health crises, and it's just a way that's just kind of a catharsis for me. I don't post it most of the time. I don't publish it. It's just there. It exists. And the third thing I want to talk about is creative energy. One thing you could do, consume some media you enjoy. For me, that's often anime. Sometimes it's books. Sometimes it's video games. Sometimes it's all three of them. So find something you enjoy. If you're like me and you have a tendency to be addicted to these things, maybe set yourself a timer or have somebody come and get you and stop you if you are on there too long, so you don't end up doing that thing for like 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. Maybe set yourself an hour. In some cases, if it's like a phone game, you could set yourself a screen time limit and do that for yourself. And then the last thing I do is sometimes I like to bounce ideas off of friends. This could be both my in-person friends or just my communities on the internet. But that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, make sure to click that like button and subscribe to the channel down below. And let me know what are some things you do for self-care as a writer. Alright, thanks. Bye!